We got a Zoeller M53 here. Got water in the switch. I've changed the switch before. This is actually a new gasket, so I'm starting to think that the water is actually coming through this guy right here. I don't know if you could tell that, but it's unfortunate. This is I think these are pretty solid built pumps, you know. They're all cast iron. Funny thing is, I've bought several of these throughout the years, and sorry for the shitty video, but the first one that I bought, which was probably more than 20 years ago at this point, well, guess what, folks? That one's still working. So, I've had about, this is probably my second or third that has failed. And again, I changed the switch on this not too long ago, but I wonder if the switch is still good. Makes that nice positive connection. I'm going to basically go ahead and take this thing apart, maybe use silicone on, make my own silicone gasket here, clean this up and take this out, maybe re-silicone this. I'm not sure what kind of seal this is supposed to be, but I wonder if just regular old silicone is going to work. And actually, I would like to modify this pump. I might add an external switch to this so it turns on at a lower level. So kind of maybe the water never reaches this level. Maybe that'll be a trick in not throwing this pump out. I'm not sure if I could modify this enough to add some grommets or something up here to make it turn on sooner. We're gonna have to check. We're gonna have to do some work on this thing, but I'd hate to throw this out. Again, it's a pretty solid pump, so I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna post this up, and I'm gonna take it through. I'll have a follow-up video as far as what I come up with a solution. Maybe I'll show testing it out and see how that works out. Who the hell knows? Maybe there's water coming in from this switch mechanism as well. You've got 1, 2, and then 3 with the gasket intrusions here, so I'm really not sure. But that switch, man, that switch sounds good. I don't know that switch is bad, so we'll see. I'll come back to you with a progress video. I'm gonna go ahead and drain this out, let it dry overnight, and maybe play around with it tomorrow and see if I could create another video. All right, come back to you. Zoeller M53. This one, I don't know, man. This thing's maybe like 4 or 5 years old, something like that. I already changed the switch. It's been hit or miss with these newer Zoeller 50. Actually, I stopped buying Zoeller M53s. I stopped buying it, and I bought this pump on Amazon. Superior pump, 3rd horsepower, yada yada. I know it's made in China. What isn't made in China? But this has an external float, right? It's a piggyback float, and you could actually remove the float from the pump, which I did, and I mounted it separately. So this turns on even lower. This is supposed to turn on at 7 inches, and I think I still have it turned on around 6 or 7 inches, but I modified it because I have it in a very shallow pit where I put this one. So I like the fact that I could take the float out and have it end here instead of having the height end there, if that makes sense. I needed the clearance. Okay, so Zoeller, I apologize, but we're no longer buying your pumps. Matter of fact here, this is a really solid pump by Little Giant, 6 series pump. These things are really, really low profile. They do a really good job. But they have one of those diaphragm floats. You can't modify that at all. And if you have a high enough pit, those little giant pumps are really, really good quality. I mean, I've got one or two of them that are easily going on like 10 or 15 years. So, and they use an O-ring type of gasket, if I'm not mistaken. So there hasn't been any issues with that. But their turn on level is a lot higher. I think these guys turn on at like 9 to 11 inches. This one's supposed to turn on between, I think, 7 and 9 inches, and I needed that for this shallow sump that I have. Shallow pit. Total height of this thing is, I guess, about 10 inches. You know, so that's pretty shallow. But obviously, it's not turning on at 7 inches because the water's coming up to here. It's, you know, hitting that gasket. So I guess the first water intrusion level on this pump, sorry about that shaky video, but that's at about, what, hard for me to read, I guess 7 1/8 inches right there, this wire inlet, the power inlet. So I wonder if I could get one of these type of external switches. I know I can, to basically work that in the pit to get this thing to turn on before 7 inches, maybe 6 inches. Or if I could put this back in and put, you know, some lightweight grommets here so that this, when this float picks up, it actually turns on the switch quicker, if that makes any sense. So we're gonna work around with it, see what we come up with, and I will come back to you, man. I'd love to get these Zoeller M53s to keep on working. I got actually another one in the shed. Maybe when I do the other video, I'll bring it out to show you that I have 2 failed Zoeller M53s that are probably both less than 5 years old. So I'll come back to you. We'll see you on the next one.